Bookfighters, you would think that it would be a truth about life that in this day, in March 2012, it would be easy to communicate with someone. The communication would be at such a place that if I wanted to speak to someone, it would be relatively simple to do so, providing that I knew them. And it probably is true. It isn't true when that person you're trying to get in touch with is your nan. Or maybe anyone over the age of 60. This is a long-winded way of me telling you that I still don't have my charger. I'm trying to get it sent up to me. I finally got in touch with her yesterday, so I'll have it next week. And in the meantime, I hope you don't mind, but you have another video of me talking quite quickly and, probably not making much sense. So Sarah and Katie and Julia, in their videos, have expressed, I think, not only a consensus about the importance of being earnest, but I think the general consensus, and I think they've also described, why it was written. I think if you'd have given your reviews to Oscar Wilde, he would have appreciated them. This was a play, as were all plays at that time, for people who were just going out, having some fun, don't really mind plot inconsistencies, and don't mind coincidences, and can't really be bothered with huge turmoil. They want nice things and nice people, and that is very much what this text is. It is also, though, and the reason I enjoy Oscar Wilde, it is a linguistic text. Those of you that know me, will know that I have this theory about dialogue in any sense, in films, in books, in anything. I have this theory that there are two types, and there is stylistic dialogue, and that there is realistic dialogue. And those of you that also know me will know that I don't think any dialogue, especially in theatre, can be written, to emulate human speech in a perfect way. Those two views, I don't believe, are inconsistent with one another. Realistic dialogue, I would call something like The Fault in Our Stars, because although all authors, they look for turns of phrase that sound nice and that are pleasant, where The Fault in Our Stars in certain passages derives its beauty is from personal things. That beautiful line where Hazel says, I fell in love as you fall asleep, really slowly and then all at once. Yes, it's phrased nicely, but the beauty in that line comes from a familiarity. Brilliant. Now you know. I can't say words. It comes from people reading that, having an understanding of it. It makes something that is personal and relatable to everyone beautiful, and it's more the conceptual idea and the truth behind it and the realism that makes it beautiful than the way it is phrased. Whereas books like Moby Dick and like The Importance of Being Earnest are more stylistic. They're linguistic in a sense that, dialogue is written in a flowery sort of way, in an elegant sort of way, and it's written with things like intonation in mind, the rise and falls in the tones of the voice, the way the words sound when after one another. The term bumbering is a perfect example of that. It's kind of silly. It gives you connotations of frivolousness and extravagance just by the letters and the arrangement of them. Moby Dick is also concerned with this, and we have constant syllabants and alliteration as we're faced with the repetitiveness and the waves and the splash of the sea. And that is what I enjoy in Wilde. It's this elegant and kind of bubbly language and the way it plays out in the conversations between people, which almost you could take away what the words mean. You know, you could speak it in a different language and it would still have this rhythm, it would still have this pace, it would still have the sound. You know, they could be speaking in the water and you could hear them. It's an awful example, but it's almost like music. It's poetry. It is that. It is poetry, and it's beautiful, and that is really all I wanted to say today. I fear I have rambled, but I wanted to get out the fact that that it is it's another way to enjoy this text in a linguistic sort of way. Brilliant. I hope you appreciate how hard this is for me, not editing myself. The fear of it not making sense, and also I hope you don't mind it too much. Next week we'll be back to normal. For those of you who are keen, we will be reading Crime and Punishment for next month, so get started on that. And Lauren, I will see you tomorrow.